I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing fowls.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
the
an
Chinese critic.
erratic
Mikhail
detective is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slapping Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, girl, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Gildarie, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi there. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon Show with our co-host Akash Prasad. Thanks for being with us wherever you are, in whichever part of the world because of different time zones. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. The talk in political society, or one can extend that term and say in Guyana in general, is about the upcoming PNC Congress, in which it is assured that they will be challengers to the leadership of Aubrey Norton. One PNC leader has already cast his hat in the ring, that is Roysdale Ford, and another PNC executive member, Ganesh Mahipal, said if any group nominates him to be the leader, he would accept the nomination. Mr. Norton has reacted not cautiously in that he subtly accused one of the contenders of being corrupt, and he has said a few days ago that to challenge him is to play into the hands of the PPP and help the PPP. We'll come to talk more about that. Our two guests are no strangers to this program. They have been here multiple times and their viewership has been high. That is because of what the topic is and what they have to say. This evening will be no exception. Before I go to the introduction, I have to thank Akash Prasad for staying the course for the past few months in the absence of Gildarie. Welcome again, Akash, to our program, and I hope you stay a long time. Our guest this evening is the former mayor of Georgetown, Ubraj Narine, who is a PNC member. Our second guest is former AFC executive and current columnist with the Guyana Chronicle, Leonard Craig. Alphabetically, we will start with Craig. Once again, the protocol, Ubraj. I could never forget calling you sing on this program 2 years ago. What was happening to me? I introduced the man on this program as Singh, the famous mayor of Georgetown. I wonder if you rate the number of mayors in terms of being known. You probably one of 5 or 1 of 6.
Maybe.
There's Burnham, Locke, Chase Green, Hamilton Green. You may be 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're here to discuss the possibility of there may be a new leader at the PNC Congress in August. Leonard Craig has written a column called Moral Hazard, in the Guyana Chronicle, in which he dismissed the leadership of Aubrey Norton and referred to him as incompetent. That's a strong output. You see anything since you wrote that article 3 weeks ago to change your mind?
Thank you for having me on your program, and I'm happy to share my views and analysis on the issue. I must first say I am not a member of the PNC, never was, and I am not commenting as if I'm a member of the PNC, but I am just making an analysis of the way I see and understand the politics of Guyana. Now,
you said you're not a member of the PNC. You mean AFC?
I'm not a member of the PNC.
Oh.
You're commenting on PNC leadership.
Yeah. But everybody know you're
Right.
a member of the AFC.
Right. So, so it is in that context that I'm making my comments. Now, my column on Norton had a lot to do with my analysis of how he conducted himself so far as a leader, and what he was perceived to be prior to being a leader. Now, there is a concept called the Peter Principle, where it is said that a person can be promoted beyond their capacity or beyond their competence. In other words, a person might be an excellent supervisor, the best supervisor in the world, and an opening is there for a manager, and as soon as you promote them, it becomes beyond their level of competence. And I think that is what has befell Mr. Norton. Mr.
Narine.
Mr. Narine is here.
You forgot the man name. Do something wrong with this man.
And maybe he has a different take on this, but I am sharing my views. And if you look at the pattern, not just opposition leaders of the PNC, but all opposition leaders of Guyana, Aubrey Norton is going to score the lowest. You can't class him with Barra Jagdeo, you can't class him with Forbes Burnham, you can't class him with Chedi Jagan, Desmond Hoyt, David Granger. I mean, you just go down the line, so I would rate him as the most incompetent leader the PNC has ever seen. Now, there is one comment I'd like to make. There are two things when a person is called to leadership that they must have of political parties in Guyana. Two basic qualities. One, they must know the ins and outs of the party they're going to lead, the membership, and things like that. One cannot accuse Norton of not knowing those things. But the other aspect of it is financial management and your ability to bring money into the party. Kemraj Ramjatan always used to say something, that finances are the mother's milk, or is the mother's milk of politics. If you look in the US politics, Biden is raising money 4 times the amount of Trump. And that can, give you room to do a lot of things with your campaigning and so on. And I believe that second quality Norton does not have. And those are the two major qualities a leader must have if you're going to lead a political party, especially in a third world country.
Akash, what do you want to ask the mayor?
Well,
you
the question...
You think he could be a dark horse and lead the PNC in the big fight?
Well, at least this question that I have leads, for both of you gentlemen, is that, first of all, let me say it's a pleasure being here with you guys. And the opposition leader, Aubrey Norton, said some time ago that the people within the party lack institutional knowledge. He says that they lack the institutional knowledge to take the helm, Where do you guys stand on this?
Mayor?
On that note, dear, you know, the PNC being a member of the People's National Congress Reform and serve as in the capacity of mayor, I wouldn't agree with the statement if the leader had made such a statement. We lack the institutional knowledge. I believe that the constitution of the PNC outlined those kind of institution and guideline to follow, and that is what I am being guided by, the constitution of the People's National Congress Reform. And that is something I love the PNC about, because there's a constitution. One day I can run for leader of the party, but I wouldn't say that we lack the members lack of the institution knowledge. And I'm here not to label the leader of the opposition or my leader, Aubrey Norton, but when you see you are leading any political party or you're a leader of a political party, you have to know how to bring the people together. You have to know how to capitalize on the strength of your members and your supporters, and also not only the strength, but some may be weak in certain areas, but that is where, as a leader, you have to have different forum and conference and gathering so that you can able to enlighten them what is really happening in the political arena in our country, and also instill certain knowledge to them from the party.
We come now to this program is an hour and we haven't gone much longer, but I would think this is going to be one of the most important questions in the 1 hour segment. First to Leonard and then the mayor. Is the possibility, if you put it on a continuum of 1 to 10, of not losing in a legitimate contest in which votes are cast and counted legitimately in August, on a continuum of 1 to 10, where do you place Norton's victory?
I believe Norton may still have a good chance at winning, because a lot of the politics in Guyana has to do with emotions. And I think Aubrey Norton might be closer to the emotions of the masses, because a lot of the ground soldiers, so to speak, or the organizers, especially in some of the out of town areas, are open supporters of Aubrey Norton, and on that score he might be able to pull off a victory. However, if persons were to judge their leaders based on capacity, I think especially the urban voters and so on, I don't think Norton stand a chance. So those who desire to challenge Norton will have to go out into the reaches of Guyana and actually reach party groups, probably even form new party groups and things like that, and talk to people and get people to understand what is at stake, because I believe that that would be, so to rate the chances, I am not sure where I'll put that, probably 6, 7, thereabout.
Well, Freddie, in that case, dear, the party is a democratic party, and the party got rules and regulations to follow. And there you have seen Ganesh and Roisel did announce they will challenge the leadership. New groups would not make any sense at this point of time. You have existing groups, and that is where you have to build membership. You have to go out, reach the people, talk with them, and it is not a talk down or mudslinging. But I believe, and this is my principle, and I don't have no apology to make, in mudslinging, it will only cause damages to a political party. But you have to sell your policies, what you will intend to do for this political party, to bring the people together, to challenge the PPPC at 2025 election to victory. So these are my thinking as a young man in the People's National Congress reform. I am not influenced by no one. I am independent, and where I can make mention of these things. And I will continue to fight for my colleagues and comrades in whatever
There's
capacity.
A question on the table.
But yeah, I come into the question. So I would not rate Aubrey Norton out of 1 to 10. That will left to the process to follow and the guidance of the Constitution of the People's National Congress reform to follow. I can't say whether if Aubrey will win or Aubrey will lose. It is all about the groundwork of those individuals who decide to contest the leadership of the party.
Akash.
Look, one very bright prospect for me within the PNCR and was Tandai McAllister. I really held her close because, you know, I always saw her as this really charismatic person and all of that. She's no longer there. Who are some of the, leaving out those parliamentarians right now, who are some of the young people within the party, Mayor, that you think can step up and present themselves with leadership roles? Because this is the future of the PNC we're talking about.
Well, I will be...
And you're one of them.
Yeah, crystal clear. I don't know if me one of them. But you have young people in the PNC, but I believe the young people need to be more bold, right, within the PNC. We just can't take things and take it for granted and take it and stay easy. It's a political party, and I'm not saying to push away the older people or the older folks in the corner. We need their guidance. We need their knowledge. But the young people need to step up, including myself. You have Ganesh Mahipal, you have Christopher Jones, you have Amanza, you have Rizel Fort, you have people like Natasha Singh Lewis, you have Annette, the guy named Ferrego from Region 10. You have a lot of young people in the PNC, but you just can't sit down and just say let it ride, because if you don't make a change in your own circle, how can you change Guyana? You understand? And these are the things I'm looking at, and that's why someone asked me the question why I don't cross line, why I don't join an expo. No, I would not do that. I believe in the People's National Congress reform, and I will stay right there, whether thick or thin. There is a leader. I respect the leader, but the Constitution give people in the party an opportunity to bid for the leadership, to bid for position in the party, and that must show respect by any leader or the executive of the PNC.
Mayor, people looking at this program, you announced on this program, you announced in previous program, you are a die in the world PNC. The PNC is having one of its most important events. So therefore, I think it is expected for you to be asked about the challenges. There's Ganesh Mahipal, there's Roysdale Ford. What's your are you uncomfortable being asked if you support the Roysdale Ford?
No, I'm comfortable, Freddie. I'm a plain spoken person,
so,
and I have nothing to. Nobody can beat me, right? Or give me licks.
So
I went on the launching of Rizel Fort Senior Council when he launched his bid for the leadership, and I fully endorse Rizel Fort for leadership of the People's National Congress.
Oh God, you're going into Norton's bad book.
Well, I don't know if Norton have a bad book. I can't really say. Like
but he create one now.
Like Jack Dio, he has a bad book, you know. So I don't know if Norton has that as well. But that is my democratic right according to the Constitution of the PNC. I am giving my full support to Rizel Fort, and I have no apology to make for that. I believe in young leadership. I do not believe to move out the older folks. So they have a wealth of knowledge. We need to keep them. They need to groom us and to guide us, because this political fight is not about you. It's about the nation. It's about the party, because I would sit here now and talk so much about the PNC, and next 50, 60 years, somebody will replace me. And we must understand that these things is a cycle. I am not there to own anything.
So you think Rochdale would be a good leader?
Yes, I that's why I give him my support. If he wouldn't be a good leader, I wouldn't support him. And I talked this, I said this to him very clear that I will give him my support. And if there is anything else I needed to do or he need my assistance, I will be there to help.
Akash?
Yeah, Mr. Craig. Let me direct this question to you as an outsider. It has been agreed, and the opposition leader said at the General Council, it was decided that the Congress will be held no later than August 31st of this year. But there were sections of society calling for this a long time ago, and perhaps still calling. Where do you stand? What do you stand on this?
Mayor mentioned earlier about democracy within a party, and I think if democratic values are allowed to prevail within a major political party such as the PNCR, I think it could only be good for Guyana. Absolutely. If that election goes down with lots of sour grapes, then it will not be healthy for the politics of Guyana. So all of us, regardless of whether we are in the PNC or not, we prefer to see a leader emerge that was chosen by the people who are so entitled to vote at that Congress.
Yeah. This is to both of you gentlemen, beginning with Craig, alphabetical. Norton said something at his press conference, and when you were listening and looking, you want to know why would he say that? When Rochdale Ford announced his candidacy, there were some subtle remarks about if you're going to challenge for leadership, you got to be clean, and he made some subtle allegations of corruption, and that was picked up in the press. That has to be self-defeating.
Well, it is for Norton to point out incidents of corruption in Ford because this man is a direct challenger to him, and if he has that sort of information, he probably should let the world know. In fact, he should let the membership know. But I have not seen in the press any allegations against Ford. But I've seen allegations against Norton. But that is not my place. But my analysis is Norton's inability, as it would seem, as word on the street is, that nobody gives money to the party when Norton is leader. And I foresaw that in the last Congress that they had. And I thought that the membership should have elected Joe Harmon because Joe Harmon has a greater balance. Norton is lopsided in one area. Now, another reason why Norton emerged as a weak leader is because Norton's politics was associated with not such a clean-cut person. It was associated with thuggish behavior, if you want, troops to bulldoze. You call on Norton to arrange that. If you want to drink with the boys in Bam Bam Alley, you call on Norton to arrange that.
Where's Bam Bam Alley?
Orange Walk.
Oh, Orange Walk. Yeah. Right? I know Aubrey used to be there. Yeah, I don't know if it's still there.
So that is the image that Norton came to the table with. And if you now come in with that image and you're leader of a party, you have to go overboard almost to try to clean up that image. And in cleaning up that image, Norton lost himself. I think Norton was better off as a sidekick to some other leader, and it would create a mystery for the government, because you have a tool in your back pocket that you do not know how the opposition will use. And that tool is the ability to organize large groups of people and all of that. Now, Norton takes up leadership and he withered into nothingness, literally, where that everybody thought that Norton's capacity to organize and all of that. So in cleaning up his image, he lost what he was known for in politics. So that mystery in the eyes of the government has now been dispelled. And so quite often you listen to the press conference of the leader of the vice president. He keeps saying that Norton was a junior functionary in the party. We are not, there's no interest in talking to Norton because he can't bring anything to the table. And that dismissive posture was engendered by Norton's inability to maintain that image of a leader that could be respected.
Mayor, should he have made that subtle reference to corruption at the press conference when he was responding to Rosedale Ford candidacy?
Freddie, I make mention earlier that I don't believe in mudslinging, right? I have never seen anything about Mr. Ford, and I heard anything about Mr. Ford. But when you make such an allegation of corruption, I am not again labeling the leader of the PNC, which is my leader. First, one has to look at yourself, generally, and outline your achievement in the political arena if you're placed in a position, and what are the standards you bring to this political party? What are some achievement you bring to the political party, and what you intend to do, for the political party? And these are things I backed Norton when he ran for leadership. I was support Aubrey Norton fully, and I am supporting Ford now. So corruption is a part of living your own colleague. It's not a good thing, I will say, Freddie and Akash and Craig and the viewers out there, you must sell the policies, how to bring these people together with the political party, and how you will able to remove the People Progressive Party Civic from government if you intend to go that route. And you know what, you spoke about the Constitution and democracy. If you're speaking on democracy of the nation, you must be able to see it within your own political party. And that is where the PNC Constitution outlined that democracy. And the only political party in this country, right, has a constitution and outline the procedure and the how to go about to elect leaders, chairman, treasurer, and all these things. So look at the factions or in the PNC at this point of time. There's many factions to me, my personal knowledge, and that is something we don't need. We need a oneness. We need to regroup, refocus, and rebuild so that we can able to achieve one goal: to defeat the PPPC 2025.
Leonard, let me ask you this. Local government election last year saw a number of persons crossing the floor, going over Ronald Backer, Patricia Shares Green, and a number of other persons going over. Do you see this trend continuing? And if either which way, why so?
Yeah, in my opinion, it has continued, and it's an ongoing process. And from my own knowledge, there are people who are crossing the floor literally on a daily basis. And it goes back to, the leadership in the PNC. People have realized, or people believe, a lot of people believe that the PNC cannot deliver in its current form. If the Congress will be held in August, that is just about 9-10 months before another election. Because of how factionalized the PNC is at this moment, I do not think it's enough time. I do not think Aubrey Norton can take the PNC to victory over the PPP. That's the first thing. And if there is anyone who can do it, it's someone else. I don't know who that person is, but I don't believe it is Aubrey. And there isn't sufficient time for another leader to take over, try to bring people. There's too much to do in the PNC to win an election in 2025.
Bamba Mali, if you go and you drink, I understand I know before he became opposition leader, I didn't know that place named Bamba Mali. I know it was Orange Walk. But if he's associated with Bam Bam Ali, isn't it hard reality that in class divided society, you must also seem to be allaying the fears of other classes? Is the middle class content with Aubrey Norton being a Bam Bam Ali guy? Mayor?
Well, I wouldn't make any comment on that. I don't know about Bamba Mali. I don't know.
You don't drink there?
No, I don't drink. I do. When I was mayor, I walked through Bamba Mali, which is Orange Walk and rich people and so on. But I wouldn't make any comment on that. I don't know nothing about
I think the essential question you're asking is if Norton isn't that good for politics if he can mix with
it is
the normal people.
It is,
whether it is Bam Bam or wherever else.
But he has to also to cross many other borders.
Right. So there's where I'm getting, and that is the point I was making earlier, because he came in with this reputation. If being, the leader, he would have had to at least make attempts to clean up this image, to try to, meet with the middle class, business class, to sharpen his image to that point. I cannot say how successful he has been, but I know that that is something that he needed to do. To dispel that fear and to have that crossover connection.
Akash, you asked something earlier, and Freddie, I want to bring you a part of your questioning. You see, when Rizal Ford had launched his campaign, and you said Craig Smith mentioned that people will continue to cross lines, but I can testify publicly that there's a lot of business people reach out to us, right? I'm a part of 14. A lot of business people reach out to us and are ready to support us, right? People who supported the PPP, people who are PPP supporters, right? I got a list in my phone, right?
You could show us.
No, I can't do that, Freddie, right? People want to meet with us. People want to hear from us, because, there's not everything well in this country, right? Right now, the PPP got its advantages and disadvantages, and people are not satisfied. Our government can't please everybody, which we know that. But these people is actually within the belly of the PPP, who had reached out to us, want to talk to us. I met with 2 of them only which night, and these are Indo-Guyanese. They want to render their assistance. They want to see a strong opposition
Mayor,
Before you come in, Akash, let me see these names.
Freddie, you live in a turn on the phone. Don't worry. Listen, I understand what you're saying, but don't you think that the people that needs you the most, that needs the PNC the most, are the same supporters that would have supported the PNC and APNU, AFCs when they got into government, the same people who would have voted at the last election? Don't you think those are the people? Because those are the people are crying out that they want to hear from the PNC, they want to hear from the leaders.
Yes, both. Like I said, you have supporters of the PPP and supporters of APNU or PNC reach out to us. Business people who don't willing to come forward.
I'm talking about the man on the ground.
Yeah. And oh yes, that we been to Region 1, we've been to Region 6, Region 5, and we have been speaking to our comrades, we're speaking to people, and they're willing to pledge their support. They want to hear and see us more on the ground. And I'm not labeling the leader of the party, but members of parliament, member of the opposition, they want to see us. They want to go, but you know, there are restrictions in the PNC at this point of time to members to go in community. And the people out there, the vendors reach out. There are a lot of people reaching out to us, man, both from both ends. Middle class, high class, low class, whatever class you want to categorize them, I categorize them as Guyanese. So everybody want to meet with us. And I heard the thing only yesterday that the People Progressive Party is funding Rizal Ford or supported. No, that is untruth, and that is being libelous, where you have comment on that, where we have nothing to do with the PPP, and I'm a man of principle, and I'm a part of 4 team, and we have never engaged the PPPC in any dialogue dealing with the Congress of the PNC. Those things are false, and those things are hypocrisy if people are spreading such rumors about Rizal Ford and team. Because I take offense, because I'm a part of Rizal Ford team, and I will never do such a thing against my party and my comrades.
To both of you, I've watched and I've listened to Norton saying that the contest for leadership at this time will aid and abet the PPP. He said the PNC now has the PPP against the ropes. I mean, as an analyst, I seriously would question that, but he said that. And he said, at this time, you're going to look to challenge the leader. That challenge could only aid the PPP. That seems to be a banal, traditional thing when you're facing a challenge. But let us say that the PNC, for sake of argument, say the PNC does have the PPP against the rope, as Norton says. Why should that prevent someone from wanting to be the party leader? To both of you. That has stunned you, guys?
No, I just want to hear the
Freddie and the viewers out there, for me, as a member of the PNC, we're not doing enough. And I always said I'm a plain spoken person. We need to hold government accountable. And that is what something we're not doing. Press release, press statement, those things. As a young man in politics, I don't need all of that, everything. There is a lot of corruption in this government, and I outlined it a few only recently to a minister, right? They said they didn't know about it. And what happened is that you're not getting the foundation of this corruption and government. You're just assuming.
But how you come in? You're right? Avoiding the question?
No, I'm not avoiding the question. I'm coming to the point, Freddie. But I'm giving something before I come to the point. Is that
Is that something relevant?
Oh yes, it is. It is relevant to me, Freddie.
All right.
So the foundation of dealing with these matters or holding government accountable, it has to be the opposition. Has to be the two opposition, both AFC and PNC, which is combined is APNU. And we need to do much more to hold government accountable. For example, I, as a PNC member, I believe in peaceful protests. I don't believe in violence and all these things. I believe in action.
You coming up to the question?
I finish answer your question.
But
right?
No,
I finished.
no, you didn't. The question was, I heard in front of the cameras, Norton said that to challenge the leader this time is to help the PPP. Why would you want to challenge a leader at this time? And Craig said he will defer to you.
Well, if you said that is a question, I will answer you. I don't see that relevant. I don't see that relevant because the Constitution outlines something, and it ought to take place or happened, and that's my full stop there.
I think you're pushing a little bit of your politics. You know that was a question, but you want to push in your little anti-PPP politics. Well, you learned it as a young man in politics. Craig should not have said that. At this time, people should not challenge.
I can't comment on why and if Norton should have said that, but I know that at the end of the day, people love democratic values. No matter who we are, when we, in our quiet moments, we like democratic values. And if the PNC can go through a rigorous election and people are satisfied that it was conducted democratically, regardless who turns out to be the winner, in my own opinion, I think all of their supporters are supposed to feel like winners, regardless. I cannot see how that has a bearing on Norton having the government against the ropes. What kind of rope it is? Thread or rotten rope? Because I ain't seeing the rope that Norton got the government on.
Akash?
Mayor, maybe you spoke just now about people on the ground and the support that you've been getting. Do you envision that should it go the way of Roysdale Ford, which is the team that you're part of? Do you envision mainstream PNC supporters to throw their support behind Roysdale Ford?
I wouldn't say mainstream alone. Generally, we'll throw them support behind the PNC. And again, I believe in principles and values, and if Roysdale can't do the job, I will speak. Which I make mention. I wouldn't stay silent.
Okay.
Right? I wouldn't stay silent. I believe that the PNC is a political party with democratic values, with principle, and we can able, if the right leadership and right team, and if we come together as in unity, we can defeat the PPP in 2025.
And let me just ask this again. And do you see if Ganesh Mahipal gets into the ring, does he have an opportunity of winning?
Well, I can't speak for Ganesh and his support base. Me and Ganesh didn't have any kind of talk on that. All that he make mention that if he get nomination, he will consider it. I am in Roysdale camp, and I am a part of Roysdale team. So that's why I can able to say it. And I can assure you this. I'm here not to attack the leader of the PNC or label him or bring him down. If Aubrey Norton pick up his phone and call me now and invite me for a meeting that we need to do certain things, I will go. Because that is a respect I have for the leader of my party. While I'm in Roysdale camp, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's the same PNC. Right? Is the same PNC, is one party which we have to move forward. There shouldn't be any fractions and any hatred among us.
Your thoughts on 1 minute, Freddie. Your thoughts on Ganesh? Charismatic?
Yeah, I think Ganesh is well liked, but I'm not sure what is the level of support inside the party. I know Ganesh is young. He has a reasonable following on Facebook, but sometimes that does not translate to support or electoral support, whether it's in the party or at the national ballot. Before
I ask my question, it's funny you mentioned Ganesh and his Facebook. The owner of the Pegasus during the 2020 election, what's the owner of the Pegasus? Badal. When the election was going on, Badal told me he had about 200,000 followers on his Facebook. We were discussing small parties and the chance of winning, and he had his party is coming out on top after the PNC PPP. It didn't happen, so you're right. It's not because you see those followers on Facebook. But here what I want to ask. I think it's early days yet, and from my little discreet inquiries and what I've been told, I don't think Rosedale Ford is going to be the only contender. I believe that people perceive that Norton is very weak, is very incompetent, is not the type of leadership the PNC should have, and there's an election coming on. He's not going to make the PNC have a good showing, and they think this is the time to take leadership of the PNC. So I believe, apart from Ford and Ganeshpal, Mahipal did say, if I'm nominated, I will accept. So you have two there. I believe more coming. Your take, I believe there are more challenges coming.
Possibly.
Particularly a woman, a well-known woman. That is your personal friend. Your
analysis might be thing. I am not sure who you're referring to. But
you acknowledge she's your personal friend.
I'm not sure who you're referring to. From days
when y'all grew up in Barbies.
Oh, well, you're probably referring to Walton Desir. Yes, there's no secret about that. We went to the same school, grew up in the same village.
I first met her at your wedding.
Right, and she was a guest at my wedding and so on. So it's somebody I know, and I would never ever deny that friendship. And I'm not sure, I've not spoken to her concerning her intentions. And if she chose her hat in the ring, I'll be extremely proud of her. You know, I can't make any comment about her chances of winning or all of that, but I think it would be good for the general well-being of young people. Must always feel that they can, rise up and put their name, similar to what occurred in the PPP when they were challenging for leadership. Charles Ramson put his name in the, and when you see young people, Irfan Ali himself is a young man. You had Vindi and and these are relatively very young people. And when young people can feel in their head that we don't need to exclude ourselves, we need to be part of the politics of our country. It is good.
But Mayor, tell me if I'm wrong. A candidate has to draw support from different constituencies. Rosedale Ford is a high-priced lawyer. In fact, one of the things I need to mention, because these programs are left and people research them and they go into Guyanese historiography. I always remember something Rosedale Ford did for me. I had taken the university to court because they were not accepting law students in a transparent manner. And the judge ruled that I should have sued not the head of the law department, the faculty. Okay? And so I won. He gave an injunction to stop the application of law students. But he said I sued the wrong person. And he awarded an enormous cost. He awarded $150,000 in cost. And we appealed it. And Rex McKay, Rosedale was working at Rex McKay. Rex McKay ordered Rosedale, not to accept a reduction of the 150. When we went in front of the Court of Appeal, Justice Perry heard the arguments, and Annie Landela, was my lawyer, asked for a reduction of $50,000 from 150, and Royce-Dale agreed. And when he went back to McKay, from that moment on, McKay was mad. But I think Royce-Dale was conscientious. It was a matter of principle. So I want to let viewers know that there's another time when we were good friends. I walked into his office and we were chatting. That time we were friends, and he had a computer screen in a corner there, and my computer screen had damaged. I said, "What you doing with that computer screen? I have a computer screen," and he said, "Take it." So he has some qualities in him, but my point is, he will need the Bam Bam Ali support. Is that where you come in?
I'm not a Bam Bam Ali.
No, but you were mayor. You had to look. You chew yourself. You chew yourself down.
I would throw myself down again for the people.
No, I put you down as a Bam Bam Ali man. But Bam Bam Ali people will be some of the delegates, and I don't think Amanza Walton, Gary Best, Mahi Paul, and Rosedale Ford could bring those Bam Bam Ali people to Ford. You can do it. You throw down yourself in the street and block the traffic.
I can do it again.
And a lot of ordinary people, PNC people, were around there supporting you. I'm asking you if you think you can bring the Bam Bam Ali support to
you may not know. You may know Rosedale. Yes, is a kind person and so on, but Rosedale is who heading fighting for the teachers and deal with unions and all things for decades. I have known Rosedale way before becoming mayor, and I can say this much: you may look at Rosedale in that manner, but Rosedale is a down-to-earth man. Is a man that can engage anybody. You make mention classes earlier. I will use your same terms. Any classes of people.
Including Bam Bam Ali people.
Yes, I saw that with him in Region 1, where he has people gravitate to him. You know, at one point, let me tell you, a meeting cancelled in Region 1, and the people look for Rosedale, and they hired a bus for Rosedale to go different places, and that is where I look at Rosedale as a man that is with qualities. And I am not saying Norton is not a person of qualities. He has his own style of leadership, his own quality, his own way of doing things. But Rosedale is a down-to-earth man, and I'm not supporting him because he's a lawyer that I want to see somebody fresh in the pen. No. My principle that I believe that young people should be given an opportunity. Whether you have the experience or not, we will get it from the older one, must be there. They need to take on the mantle. They need to paddle the boat. And if you come out of university and you have not given a chance to gain the experience, how will I gain the experience? Where would I go? You understand me? You have to give young people a chance. And the then government AP and my government speak about it. We didn't see it, right? We didn't see it. This government spoke of it.
You're using the program again to
this government saw it.
It's an academic program.
So I am telling you. I am telling you.
We're talking about
Freddie,
Norton.
Right?
But let's talk about, use this word, hemorrhage. Because Craig used it in his analysis of Norton in his Monday column in the Chronicle. Top leaders are leaving the PNC. That lady, Amna Ali, was an icon that PNC stalwarts respect, plus her ethnicity adds to the PNC's credibility. That woman spoke to me with tears of how Norton reacted to her. Craig Burnham's son-in-law's gone. Mm-hmm. You know, so many Greenwich is gone. Mm-hmm. To both of you, how you stem this hemorrhage?
No, but Freddie,
Craig, you're going to use the program to do your propaganda. Craig. You come here to do propaganda, you know. Show us your phone, who these people are.
No, I can't show you my phone.
Yes, Craig.
I am not sure how to stop it. The PNC has got to work on their own prescription. But if you look, you see, Irfan Ali had a slow start because when he was named as presidential candidate, there was a big, thing, and people were questioning his qualifications, this, that, and all of that. And Irfan Ali came to the presidency, and he dug in. He came and he appeared to many of us as a neophyte, but he dug in, and he is learning quickly. And I think Guyanese people like that. And so the hemorrhaging that was happening in the PPP, you saw on Facebook some of their own supporters, but when you come into leadership and you dig in, people like that. And I think many persons who in the PNC who did not see that for themselves in their own party gravitate towards that Irfan displayed, that leadership quality that he displayed. So we understand that Irfan didn't come with refined leadership skills, but he applied himself, and you can see him trying every single day to reach across the aisle, to reach, and stuff
What
like
got
that.
to do with the question of hemorrhaging from the PNC?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The hemorrhaging in the PNC has a relation to that because people like
you're
what they
contextualizing
see.
it. Okay.
Yeah, people like what they see in Ali, and they don't mind supporting. So you would find a lot of people who couldn't find any attraction in the PPP previously are softening their stance and are giving Irfan Ali a chance, so to speak. And I think these two things are related.
You and Rochdale can stop the hemorrhaging?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, Freddie.
But you were the mayor. You have prominence in
I
this
haven't
country.
seen a resignation.
You were the mayor for 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5 years. I haven't seen a resignation from Van West or heard about it. I haven't seen one from Amnali, neither Carl Greenwich. So I don't know.
That's not that's splitting hairs.
Yeah.
If somebody gone and then leave a resignation, it doesn't mean they have
may
gone.
appear that these people, you may assume these people gone, but I don't assume that.
Well, they've gone. I mean, one gone one is the ambassador to Cuba. He would not be a part of the leadership. I mean, Amna Ali has.
Freddie, you have to understand his politics, and you. I believe you understand. You understand very well.
Philosophy, gone
right?
is gone.
No, you.
When the sunset is down, it's gone.
No, you can be in a party and you serve the government as an ambassador or high commissioner. Right? Nothing wrong with that. That's a diplomatic position.
So you saying
right? You have to work for the government for the day.
Let me just add something.
I wouldn't say Van West gone. I wouldn't say I'm not gone.
Let me add something quickly. Van West Charles said that he has not resigned from the PNC, but Norton, in one of his press conferences, referred to Van West as our former colleague. But having said that, Norton has spent his entire leadership, and he was not able to bring these people together or keep them together. So we have to assume that he is unable to stop, to use your word, the hemorrhaging. We have to assume that Norton is unable to, because he's finished a term, he is being challenged for leadership, and he has not done anything in Guyanese visible politics to repair anything in the PNC. And because of that, we have to assume, those of us who are onlookers, we have to assume that needs to be done by someone else.
No. I want to stick a pin there. I want to stick a pin, Freddie, quickly.
Yeah, quickly.
You look at the press statement that Roysdale give, And he make mention Aubrey Norton will have a space in his leadership if he happen to be the winner. And that is where I am saying to you, Royce Ilford has a plan for all seniors, past leaders, and elders in the party. And we must understand those things.
I'm going to ask you two guys to wrap up. You want to say anything?
Yeah.
Time has come.
Quickly. When you, by the way, Freddie, let me tell you, Bamba Mali is not as bad as it sounds. I have been there many times.
No, it's not as bad.
It's a nice place.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Craig, you and I were not there together.
Yeah. We've all been there.
I was at Bamba Mali
some guys from the Chronicle from over a decade ago.
I've been to Bamba Mali more time than I could come with Craig, with Michael Carrington.
Why are you operating like you don't know Bamba Mali?
I didn't know it was there in Bamba Mali. From the time I was there, the past 4 years, I know it was Orange Walk Lime, and it has a name, Sweet Something.
Sweet Point, that's right.
I don't know how.
We've all been there.
I don't know
all of us will schedule to go.
Right, but anyway, our time has come. Quickly, a couple seconds, Craig.
All right. Thanks again, Akash and Freddie, to have me on your show. It wasn't what I thought, but nevertheless, I'm here.
What you thought?
No.
You thought
our topic.
To do your propaganda. You thought you were going to do your propaganda.
I want to see my good friend Amanza, and I want to see Rysdale come together. Right, I want the public to know that I like Amanza as well, and I like Rysdale. But if they come together, I believe it will be a greater force, a power team, which can take us to 2025.
A team, Craig.
I would think that I would hope that the PNC, if they're able to, and Mayor Narine might be able to assist with them having a clean election. I think it is healthy for the Guyanese public
and democracy.
We gotta go. When we were talking, I peeped at your phone, and I know Aubrey Norton number. He's calling you. I peeped at the phone, so he's calling you. Viewers, thanks for watching us. We were looking at the challenge to Aubrey Norton's leadership in August, and the two people giving their thoughts, their analyses, and their viewpoints were the former mayor of Guyana, Ubraj Narine, who is of Georgetown, mayor of Georgetown, who said he is a diehard PNC, and former General Secretary Deputy of the Alliance for Change, and currently a columnist in the Chronicle, Leonard Craig. We will see you on Wednesday. As I normally say on behalf of Akash Prasad, catch you later. Bye-bye.